My sister and I are lifelong Relient K fans. I don't even remember a time when I didn't know who they were. This year they're going on tour for the first time in 5 years. We have tickets to the first night and the last night. So we decided we want to take a look at each of their individual albums with a retrospective look, starting the week of the first show and ending right before the last. 7 weeks, 8 albums. This is Relient K Revisited. This past week, we've been listening to the first Relient K album, their self-titled Relient K, which, to be honest, is probably the one I've listened to the least.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's the... We probably got into them on the next album, because we didn't have this album on CD.
Yeah, like when listening back through it, like I remember the first time I heard Relient K was because I saw the My Girlfriend video on TVU. But the first time I consciously was like, this is Relient K, was Pressing On.
Yeah.
So that would have been, like, I listened to My Girlfriend and didn't know who they were. I listened to Pressing On and I was like, this is Relient K.
Like I said, I don't remember a time not knowing Relient K.
Yeah.
Of course, they got together the year I was born. Mm-hmm. But then this album came out in 2000. But I remember, like, Anatomy just being there when I was a kid. And then I remember My Girlfriend being something from their past, but I didn't really know it that well. So for background, we're preacher's kids. Our parents were actually in youth ministry from the late 90s all the way
2007
to like 2007. So during, Relient K's height, and specifically Christian Alternative's height.
Yeah.
I've always liked Hello McFly. Of course, I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. If Alex moves, there's a Marty McFly on my shelf over here. The bass line at the beginning of this, I think it is fantastic. It's such a good intro to the album because it gives you that energy, and it just feels kind of, I would almost call it indie. Like they're right on that edge where it's like they're sort of pop punk, but like the past few days I've been trying to find bands that sound like them, and there's a few that sound similar, but none of them are super close. Like early Blink does not sound like them. NoFX, you can hear some influence there, but not a lot. But like I just showed you their first, the All Work and No Play. It's a lot more apparent with that.
Yeah.
Thiessen he's influenced by so many bands. He's a Beach Boys fan and a Beatles fan and Ben Folds and stuff like that.
And I think they've always been on that line of indie.
Yeah,
they always rode that line.
Yeah, they've always been more melodic than a lot of other punk bands.
Yeah.
Relient K is one of those bands that when you hear it, you know who it is.
Right.
Like, even if you didn't know the song, you know this is Relient K. Upon first listen to this, it's really Jesus-y.
I was thinking about the same time I would have been listening to this, I had a t-shirt that looked like a Reese's package, but it said Jesus instead of Reese's. This album is that shirt. It
is that shirt. Well, when I did my video about why I don't like to call bands Christian, I used a thing, and it's a meme that it's like the Christian kid in the early 2000s starter pack. That shirt is on it.
Yeah.
Like, I had a hat that had it on it.
You had the hat. I had the shirt. Yeah. And that, to me, this album exemplifies that feel.
Absolutely. This is like early 2000s Lifeway feel.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that is
definitely at Lifeway.
But it's better than most of that other stuff.
Right.
Like, most of these songs, I'm listening to them, and this is my angsty former preacher's kid coming out, but like, I'll listen to them and be like, man, this song is so good, it's a shame that it's so Jesus-y.
Right. Well, and like My Girlfriend, like I think I had forgotten how really like on the nose it was about pushing the holiness, but the end of Hello McFly has that, is it Toby Mac that's saying there will never be a song about Marilyn Manson at Goatee Records? Like, so it's also got that feel of, oh, we're going to prove you wrong. Like, we can write a song about Marilyn Manson too, so it's funny. Well,
and I think it goes, because Relient K, they've never taken themselves seriously.
No.
And I think it immediately lets you know that.
Yeah.
And of course there's a ton of pop culture references, which is
their
specialty.
And I was talking the other day about how much older they are than I realized, because their references are Marty McFly, Charles in Charge.
Yeah. And Charles in Charge is one, like, I've never seen that show.
I don't even know who it is.
I don't remember who was in it.
I don't know.
But it's more like I've heard it my entire life.
Oh, yeah.
And I've watched a lot of old television.
Yeah.
But that is one I've never watched. So I've never really liked that song.
Right.
I think I would like it more if I knew the show.
Maybe.
But I think...
It's catchy, though.
It's catchy. The whole album is.
Yeah.
It's honestly, like, it's a good album. And, like, it's 46 minutes long.
Yes.
But 8 of those minutes are the hidden track.
Yes.
So, like, it's actually, it's actually a 38-minute album, which is nothing. And it's kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Like, that is a good punk link.
And I guess I had forgotten, but, like, they immediately, with this first album, started that trend of the whole thing just flows into one song.
Yes.
Which is, like, a great thing about Relient K albums, but a terrible thing about Relient K songs.
Yep. It's hard to listen to on shuffle.
If you listen to Hello McFly by itself, and then you get to the end and you hear that Toby Mac thing, and then it just goes somewhere else, like if you have it on shuffle.
There's another couple songs on there. I meant to write them down, but I don't remember. Staples to Anchorage. And I think Anchorage actually goes into 17 Magazine.
Actually,
Wake Up Call into Benediction.
Yeah, I didn't even realize Benediction was a separate thing until this morning, and I happened to be looking at my phone.
You have to. It's like Relient K. Yeah. You have to know.
Like, I just thought Wake Up Call was a really long song.
And that's kind of like getting into being a Relient K fan for as long as we have been. That has always influenced how I listen to albums.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because you always talk about how important it is for you for an album to flow. And
and it's all
they literally flow.
Yes, No,
it's not even that they follow a theme; it's that each song is meant to be.
Yes, I credit Relient K for being the reason I like albums.
Yeah,
they are the reason I like to listen to an album top to bottom, because I know it could flow, it could make references, there could be a hidden track at the end. Yeah. Like, it's all these reasons of this is, I grew up with CDs and not iTunes.
You had no choice.
I had no choice but to listen to an album, and I'm so glad I did.
Because even now, when if I just put my library on shuffle and a Relient K song plays, when it finishes out, I immediately start singing what's next on the album. Yes. Because it just works.
And that's how it's always been that way with Anatomy, because that's the album that we've had forever. And that one is like, every time, like, it doesn't immediately play I'm Lion-O next, I'm like, oh, come on. Yeah. I love My Girlfriend. The ooze at the thing, I don't even know how to say it. The ooze at the beginning is so, like, that's one of those things I immediately associate with Relient K.
Right.
Because it's such a good album, and how it's like, it's high energy pretty well through the whole thing, except for when you have, like, Benediction and Anchorage, but they're not low energy in a way that it brings it down. It really just kind of supplements it.
Yeah.
Which Anchorage, I love Anchorage. It's just instrumental, but it sounds like video game music to me. It sounds like if you ever played Spyro Orange on Game Boy Advance. That's what it sounds like to me.
Right.
And I absolutely adore it. This album is produced really weird.
Yes.
A lot of things are really quiet.
Yes.
Because Softer to me has screaming in it, and it's super quiet. I don't think you can hear it unless you have headphones in.
Yeah, well, and I noticed today in the car that Nancy Drew has like back audio. Like, there's something in the background, like voices.
Yeah.
I guess I had it turned up really loud, and I was like, what am I hearing?
Yeah. Softer to me has screaming, which I love, like, screamo music. And when I say screamo, I mean like real screamo, for those of you who know what that is. I mean like Orchid and Seisha and Page 99 and all of those.
Is this where we plug your other video?
Yeah, difference between real screamo and not real, yeah. That one. More videos about that to come. But it has that feel. To me, Softer to me almost feels like I can hear some, like, even the guitar riffs. It sounds less pop punk and more old school emo. It sounds to me like gospel, and not like Jesus gospel, but the band gospel. It's got that emo-y sound, but the screaming in it, which is their drummer. It was my goal last night to figure out who it was. It's the drummer, which this is the only album that drummer's on.
Yeah, the name didn't look familiar.
Yeah, it's the only album. He was actually in Narcissus. Do you remember Narcissus?
No.
They're one of those I remember Dad talking about a lot. I didn't know them super well. The Hidden Track. I didn't know that one at all. You didn't know it at all. It's evidently technically 2 hidden tracks.
Oh.
They're just kind of linked. There's not a lot of time between them, which it's a huge wait.
It is.
It's a massive wait.
It is, yeah.
I think it's longer than the other albums.
It was like half of my drive home today.
Yeah. I'm telling, like, it is. I was watching it last night because I was like, how short of an album would this be? And it's legit. There is 8 minutes left after K-Car ends.
That's crazy.
It is. But the first one is called Punk Rock Picnic, which is, it's an original song by Relient K with just some voices over it. Mm-hmm. And then the next hidden track is just some polka concert. I don't know anything else about it. I couldn't find anything else about it.
Yeah.
The My Girlfriend video, I was watching their shirts.
Yeah.
Hoops is wearing an Awana shirt.
I love that video.
It's hilarious.
It's so fun. Like, I didn't know who they were, but I remember 9-year-old me immediately being like, I like this band. Like, this is a fun band.
It just feels like that early 2000s punk feel that is just fun and goofy. The cover picture, found this out from that interview, was taken at Vanderbilt University.
That makes sense.
We're like 2 hours from Nashville.
We're in Nashville all the time.
So that's weird that it was that close. But yeah, it's a good album. It's just... It's undeniably my least favorite.
Yeah.
Which is fair. It's the first one.
And it's the one that we didn't listen to. It was before we really started buying their music. Like, it's before we started buying music.
Yeah.
Because... I saw the videos because our parents were youth pastors and we had TVU.
Yeah.
Like, we did not watch MTV or VH1. We watched TVU. So I have a bank of contemporary Christian music videos in my brain.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, just looking at it objectively, it's not a masterpiece by any means. It's not, it doesn't do anything super new in punk, but I think it does a lot somewhat new in as a Christian punk band.
Right.
Because before them, we had Five Iron, we had MXPX, but they didn't have the same kind of feel, I don't think. MXPX is legit a punk band. They have street cred. Mm-hmm. And Five Iron's a ska band, so they don't have street cred anywhere. I love ska, but no one respects it. I really thought, like, when I felt how Jesus-y it is, I was like, I'm not going to like this. I'm not going to enjoy this album. But I do. It sounds so fun. I don't know that I would suggest it to just anyone.
No, for me, it's just very much got this is fun.
Yeah, it does.
Kind of thing. And I, look back on those days fondly. We're going through, like, a weird... I hesitate to say deconstruction thing right now, but so it really just does feel like that old Reese's Jesus shirt that I had.
Yeah,
like it
does.
It's comfortable.
I mean, it's definitely their most, I don't want to say legalistic.
Sunday school.
It's their most Sunday school album.
For the very longest time, I thought he was saying Marilyn Manson went to medical school. And if school. I still catch myself singing that if I don't really think about it.
That's so funny.
I didn't know he was saying Matt Hoops.
Staples. I really like Staples. I like when they go, hear the walls go chunk 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 chunk. I love that. Yeah. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, there's a lot of these songs that I'm like, man, this is a really good song. I just wish it wasn't so cheesy.
Yeah. But we all start somewhere.
Yeah. And like Hello McFly is probably my favorite one on the album.
Yeah.
It's really good. And it's definitely the biggest one on this album. Weirdly enough, I would think that like K-Car or My Girlfriend would be the ones I really remember. But it's Hello McFly and Nancy Drew.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why Nancy Drew is the one that like I remember as a kid associating that with Relient K. It's one I don't know that I listened to the entire thing until I was like in middle school.
Yeah.
It would have been when I got my first iPod.
Yeah.
And I was
and
downloading
it would have
music.
been like a conscious, I'm going to listen to this.
Yeah, it would have been like, oh, I've never heard this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not.
We didn't have the CD.
We didn't have this CD. I don't know that I've ever seen this CD.
No. So it wasn't like the other ones I popped in my CD player and listened to over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
This wasn't that because we didn't have it.
This is not one I know the next track?
No.
I don't know it very well.
No.
So if you're going to be at the shows in St. Louis or the second one in Nashville, we'll be there. And if you're in Relient K, thanks. Yeah. I've been wanting to find a reason to make videos celebrating the band that I really owe my music tastes to. And I feel like this is the best way to do it.
And they were kind enough to go on tour.
And they were kind enough to go on tour at the perfect time with the perfect amount of weeks to give me an excuse to just listen to albums over and over again.
Yep.
And if you're a Relient K fan, tell me what you like about this album. Honestly. Because this is one I don't know very well. Tell me some things we might not have talked about. And tell me what you're looking forward to with other albums. I'm honestly really excited for this because as we get through, I think I love each album more and more. Mm-hmm. And I'm really excited to get into the really good stuff. The goal is to post this the day before the tour starts in St. Louis. We'll see if that happens. But if you're there, I'll be wearing a pink tux. I don't know what she'll be wearing.
Now I feel like I should dress up like Nancy Drew.
You could dress up like Nancy Drew, or you could dress up like a K car.
Can Nancy Drew have purple hair? Nancy Drew can have purple hair.
Whatever. It's 2022, man.